many different boards, and again, he works hard for the whole state. Now I'd like to share a statement from Tina Smith. She is one of 2 senators in Congress right now, working for everyone. Although she's from Minnesota, she does help others in Wisconsin and Iowa with her votes as well, and she works very hard with Amy Klobuchar. They are 2 of very few women senators in Congress. And here's what Tina has to share with you today. Hello everyone. I wish I could be there with you today, but I want to thank you all for coming. I believe we need to address climate change, protect our country's national treasures, and fight back against efforts by this administration to roll back irresponsible environmental policy. And I also believe it is important for Minnesota's own pristine land, water, and air to be protected. As Lieutenant Governor in Minnesota, I led the fight for 50% by 2030 renewable electricity standard, and I worked to expand the use of renewables in our own state government that saved over $20 million and counting. And in the U.S. Senate, I've championed renewable energy funding in the Farm Bill, and I fought to protect Lake Superior from cuts to the Great Lakes Restoration Initiative. I also support legislation to encourage conservation practices for farmers, and I called out former EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt in his attempts to roll back auto efficiency standards. And I'll continue fighting the administration's efforts to abandon the Paris Climate Agreement and the Clean Power Plan. I'm proud to be an advocate for the environment as a member of the Senate's Energy and Natural Resources Committee, and I'm proud to have the endorsement of the League of Conservation Voters Action Fund and the National Resources Defense Council, NRDC. But I need your help. Groups like the League of Conservation Voters, the NRDC, and the La Crosse Tri-State Rise for Climate event play a key role in holding the administration accountable and helping Congress to protect our environment. It's on all of us to rise up and demand that we keep progress going under President Obama to address climate change. So thank you again for your work, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Senator Tina Smith. So very nice words from Senator Smith. Now I mentioned that this is a tri-state event. We've talked about Minnesota just now, and I'd just like to give a shout out for any of you from nearby Iowa or who have family. There are also some great climate-oriented candidates in Iowa, including Fred Hubble running for governor and Abby Finkenauer for Congressional District 1, which would include nearby Decorah. And they offer a lot of good information on their websites at fredhubble.com and abbyfinkenauer.com. So now I'd like to welcome, as we round up some of our final speakers, I'd like to introduce Kathy Allen of the Coulee Region Sierra Club. Kathy?
What a beautiful day. Thank you everyone for coming. You may know the Sierra Club as a wilderness preservation organization that takes people on hikes and canoe trips. But as a national organization, they're involved in a wide range of environmental issues, including climate and clean energy. They have a Beyond Fossil Fuels campaign that has been working on retiring coal plants nationwide. I think they're up to 200 some coal plants that they've helped to retire, and also preventing new fossil fuel infrastructure like pipelines. They also have a Ready for 100 campaign that is helping communities across the country transition to 100% renewable energy. At the state level, Wisconsin John Muir chapter has been working to raise public awareness of activity in our state legislature. Every year they release an environmental scorecard on the past legislative session. And here in the La Crosse area, we are very fortunate. Our local legislators, Senator Jennifer Schilling and Representatives Jill Billings and Steve Doyle, scored 100% this past session. So thank you. The state chapter also releases endorsements each election year. And this year, the endorsements include Senator Tammy Baldwin. Yes. She has spoken out for climate on the Senate floor. And they are also endorsing Representative Ron Kind, who is now a member of the House's Bipartisan Climate Solutions Caucus. And at the state level, they're endorsing Tony Evers for governor. And many local assembly and Senate elections, they have endorsements. Check the website if you're interested, if they're endorsing anyone near you. Locally, our Coulee region group has been working on a Ready for 100 campaign. We are fortunate again in this area that our mayor, Tim Cabot, has signed a Ready for 100 pledge. So he has pledged to support the transition to 100% renewable energy. And our next step at the local level is going to be to work with the La Crosse Sustainable Commission that Nick mentioned to pass a resolution at the city council and county board level to officially set a goal of 100% renewable energy. We are going to bring that to the Sustainability Commission at their next meeting, September 20th, 4:30. It's at the County Administrative Building. We know they're going to be supportive of it. I think they just need to hear from people that this is something that's important to us and that we want them to make it a priority. Also, speaking of sustainability goals, Nick started talking about some of the The Sierra Club actually has a presentation coming up September 25th, 7 o'clock on the UWL campus in the Union, where we're going to have a report on the latest sustainability indicators report. So you can come and hear more information about how the city and county are working towards those goals. We also have a informational presentation on a solar group buy that the State Sierra Club is coordinating with a Wisconsin company, a Wisconsin solar company, Sunvest. That is on October 16th. And that is going to be at the Ho Chunk Three Rivers House in town here at 6:30. We have information on all of these events at our table right behind here. We are also looking for supporters for our Ready for 100 resolution at the city and county level. So we have a sign-up sheet if you would be willing to help us out this fall. Once we get to the resolution level, by maybe contacting your city council member or your county board member and telling them this is something that's important to you, we will take your email and have you help us out. If you have any other questions, stick around after and let me know. But let's do this. Let's make a difference for our climate.
There's a lot we can do locally. Thank you for sharing that. Kathy Allen of Sierra Club. And again, please do stop by our table after our event with music and so on as our finale. So we also have a couple more statements. As Kathy mentioned, Representative Jill Billings really wanted to be here today. And Schnick has a statement. Roz is from La Crosse. She's very active in many organizations, and she will share Representative Jill Billings' statement with us. And then Austin will share Tony Evers today. All right, Roz.
Thank you. It's good to be here. I wish this whole place were filled with hundreds of thousands of people, because this is the most important thing we are doing, is the election that's coming up. We have to make a change. And as Nick said, it better be a tsunami, because if we don't, things like this will not happen. So I'm going to read Jill's statement. She's a personal friend of mine. I know that the words on this page are not empty. She means it. If our state assembly were able to take back the assembly and we took back the state senate and the governorship, then we would have what they had in Minnesota. Think about this for a minute. When we got Governor Walker in 2010, you got Governor Dayton. Look at the difference.
You bet.
We can do it here if we join together. I have a group, it's called New Direction. If you're interested in joining up, meet me afterwards. But now I'd like to read this statement from our Assembly Representative Joe Billings. Neighbors and friends, thank you for being engaged in this most critical issues facing our community, county, and planet. Due to family obligations, she could not attend. So, from the standing water in our own backyards and washed out ridges in the early tint of the sunset, from wildfires in the west, if it is clearer than ever that not only is climate change very real, it is here. We cannot in good conscience continue to wait to take long overdue steps to mitigate climate change in Wisconsin. That's why I'm proud to co-author a letter to the governor urging Wisconsin to join the United States Climate Alliance and to develop an aggressive Wisconsin-based plan to fight climate change. Furthermore, I've worked hard in Madison to protect our water quality and natural resources. I have introduced numerous bills to increase regulations on dangerous frac mining. With local support, I also introduced legislation that would require the DNR to notify well owners if water contamination is found. For this, I was named the League of Conservation Voters annual Conservation Honor Roll. Our rivers, wetlands, and forests are critical aspects of our local and state economy. These same resources help define who we are and what makes the Coulee region such a special place to live, work, and play. I am proud to work to protect our natural resources and mitigate a changing climate. But there is still much to do, and I look forward to continuing to fight for a cleaner, more sustainable future for all in this upcoming session. Go Democrats, every single one of them.
Yay!
Put up a little bit. Hey there, I'm Austin. Thank you all for being here today. I actually wasn't supporting Tony Evers during the primary, but now that that's all over, I'm fully behind Tony Evers, and I think it's really important that we understand that the difference between having a Democrat in the governorship versus having a Republican there, from the high-speed rails that would have been going through Wisconsin to the Medicare money to frac sand mining, the destruction of the mining moratorium. There's a lot of important reasons why we should be supporting Democrats in our state. So here's from Tony Evers. First, I want to thank you all for being here. I wish I could be there to join you on this day of action, but I'm grateful for and support the important work you're doing here today, leading the Global Climate Action Summit. As many of you know, I've spent my career fighting for kids across Wisconsin. In fact, my first teaching job was in Baraboo teaching science. So one of the first things you should know about me, and I'm not embarrassed to say it, is that I believe in science, period. Climate change is real, and it is an imminent threat. Over the past 7 years under Scott Walker, we've seen what happens when leaders are silent on issues of climate change, sustainable energy, and protecting our natural resources. From eliminating references to climate change on the Department of Natural Resources website, to cutting funding for Focus on Energy programs, and refusing to take serious action to address Wisconsin's lead crisis, Scott Walker has put ideology and personal political ambitions before us. And that's the difference between Scott Walker and me. I believe in science, I believe climate change is here, and I know we have to work to mitigate and adapt it in Wisconsin. As your governor, I won't bury my head in the sand or play politics with our future. I'll bring everyone to the table to find sustainable, renewable solutions to create a more independent, efficient, and clean economy. It's important work, and there's no time to waste in taking on this issue head on. We have a lot of work to do between now and November, so I hope I can count on your support over the next 60 days. Thank you again for being here today and for your advocacy. Tony. Another important thing that Tony Evers, I heard him speak earlier, was that he's for reestablishing an independent secretary for the DNR, and that's another very important issue as we've seen the DNR working against environmentalists in the state recently, which is crazy. So thank you.
Thank you, Austin, so much for that statement. So we've got great candidates. Jennifer Schilling, we talked about her. She is a senator in Wisconsin. She's not on the November ballot, but just yesterday on Facebook, I saw a brief post. She said, "Clean water, land, and air are essential to our economy and way of life in Wisconsin, and I'm proud to be recognized on the Wisconsin League of Conservation Voters Conservation Honor Roll. We need to safeguard access to clean water, land, and air for future generations to enjoy." So more great words from our candidates and those in office who will continue to work for us. So now, rounding out our speakers, let's get back to some of our indigenous wisdom. We have an important speaker here today and musician. He will lead us in with some words into music, and we'll do more chants, and we can talk to each other and just stand up and stretch and enjoy some music with him. But first, I'll introduce him. His name is Charlie Chuck Davis Sr. from Tomah. His heritage is Oglala, Lakota, of the Oceti, Sakowin. And I hope I pronounced it properly, Chuck. You can help me there. I met Chuck first in La Crescent at the No Dakota Access Pipeline Rally at the Army Corps of Engineers in 2016. That was a national event. And he joined us up in St. Paul again when we had a rally and PUC hearings against Enbridge's Stop Line 3 pipeline. So we can work across our state borders to support each other in all of our fights. That Enbridge tar sands pipeline would double capacity all the way to Superior, Wisconsin, affecting you and all the places and countries that tar sands would go to. So, Chuck, will you please share some more words with us on how imperative it is that we act but also celebrate this great planet of ours?
Oh, without PFP. Chante etan kukupi imachaplo. Napre chuza. Ampeto washte. Na. Oceti Sakowin. Oe shicha tioshpayaki. My Lakota name is Gibbs from his heart. I'm from the Oglala Lakota band of the Oceti Sakowin. And the Oceti Sakowin is the 7 bands of the Lakota, Dakota, Nakota Nation. It was also the name of the main camp at Standing Rock. It's a good day today. Makes my heart feel good seeing all of you out here. I'm very honored to stand with you here in this medicine, this prayer, this rise for climate. And you are power. We are power. I see right here, there was a reflection, well, I wish there were more. It's a small circle. But Standing Rock was born out of a group about this size. the first camp was Sacred Stone Camp. And look what that evolved into. This is an extension of Standing Rock movement. Rise for Climate. Now this administration and his industrialist madmen, dark oil, black snake lords, they're running this machine, and they have one agenda only. We've seen time and time again these last 3 years. Maximizing profits. And they want to come at us whatever way they can. In the same way, they're mining the fossil fuels of the earth. They also mine our minds, too. They mine our minds and make us feel powerless, inflict brutality, violence, as was evidenced at Standing Rock. You know, this past September 3rd, this past week was the anniversary of when they implemented the attack dogs there at Standing Rock upon unarmed water protectors, just standing up to protect the waters. Most of them women and children. And they were standing on their own land, their own treaty land. But the brutality that was inflicted upon there woke up the world. The world was awakened. And the world were coherent, intelligently awakened. Because of the Standing Rock youth, because of Standing Rock, we became coherent, intelligently awakened. And then we became coherent, intelligently aware. And now we are coherent, intelligently armed. So we're a triple CIA threat. Know that. And we feel that we're right here. I see this beautiful river, this beautiful day, the sun. I'm energized by the sun. I'm a sun dancer, Lakota sun dancer. And if you feel the connection, you'll feel that you are the same as this earth. We are of the earth. We have the same minerals, metals. We're made up the same. But that diseased machine will want to make us, again, mining our minds, make us separated from it, and think we're above it. Man above it. I hear big corporate execs, big companies saying water is not a natural right. That's insane. That's just pure insanity. And that's the mining, see? But a lot of people their minds will be mined. And they're led to believe. Believe can be a tricky word. You say, I really truly believe in that. I believe in this. But I think there's a better word, and it's think. And that's coherent intelligence. And that's what I see in all of us today, coherent intelligence. Because we're becoming aware. We're not only becoming aware, we're acting aware. And that's